Welcome, seekers of wisdom, to a journey into the heart of timeless spiritual truth. Today, we delve into one of the most profound and transformative verses from the sacred Bhagavad Gita, verse 2.47. A verse that, though ancient, holds immense relevance for our modern lives.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भूर्मा ते संगोस्त्व कर्मणि.
Summarized as, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Let's break down this powerful statement, phrase by phrase, to truly understand its depth and spiritual significance.
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते.
You have a right to perform your prescribed duty. This isn't about arbitrary actions, but about karma, our prescribed duty. What is duty? It's a role, a responsibility, a unique contribution to the world, aligned with our nature and circumstances. It could be the duty of a student to study, a professional to excel in their work, a parent to nurture their children, or a citizen to contribute to society. The Gita here affirms our inherent right to engage in these actions, to express ourselves through work, to fulfill our potential. It's an empowering statement, acknowledging our agency, our capacity to act.
मा फलेषु कदाचन.
But you are not entitled to the fruits of action. This is where the verse truly challenges our conventional understanding. It's not saying we shouldn't strive for excellence, or that outcomes don't matter. Rather, it's a profound teaching on attachment. We are often so fixated on the result, the promotion, the recognition, the financial gain, the specific outcome, that our peace of mind becomes entirely dependent on it. When the outcome is favorable, we rejoice. When it's not, we suffer. This constant oscillation between elation and despair creates immense mental turbulence. The Gita urges us to release this tight grip on the fruits, to understand that while we have control over our actions, we do not have absolute control over the results. There are countless variables beyond our influence, circumstances, the actions of others, the will of the divine.
मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भू.
Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. This takes the concept a step deeper. It addresses the ego. When we become solely focused on the fruits, we tend to claim full ownership of success and assign blame for failure. This verse encourages humility. While we are the doers of the action, the ultimate cause of the results is often a complex interplay of factors, including divine will or the laws of karma. By detaching from being the sole cause of the results, we free ourselves from the burden of excessive pride and crippling self-blame.
मा ते संगोस्त्व कर्मणि.
Nor should you be attached to inaction. This is a crucial caveat. The Gita is not advocating for passivity, apathy, or giving up. It's not an excuse for laziness. In fact, it's the opposite. If we were to become attached to not acting, out of fear of failure or disappointment, we would stagnate and fail to fulfill our purpose. This final phrase completes the teaching, act, but act with detachment. Do your duty, give it your all, but do not let your inner peace be held hostage by the outcome. So, what does this profound verse truly teach us? It's the cornerstone of Karma Yoga, the spiritual path of selfless action. Karma Yoga isn't about abandoning action, but about transforming the intention behind our actions. It teaches us to focus on the process, not just the product. When we fully immerse ourselves in the task at hand, with dedication and sincerity, the quality of our work naturally improves. The journey itself becomes meaningful, not just the destination. Cultivate inner freedom. By releasing our attachment to specific outcomes, we free ourselves from the anxiety, fear, and frustration that often accompany our pursuits. We become resilient, able to navigate both success and failure with equanimity. Act with higher purpose. When we detach from personal gain, our actions can be motivated by a sense of duty, service, and contribution to the greater good. Our work transcends mere livelihood and becomes an offering. Embrace equanimity. This verse guides us towards samantva, equipoise. To remain steady and balanced, whether things go our way or not. It's about finding an inner stability that isn't swayed by external circumstances. Consider a doctor performing surgery. Their duty is to operate with utmost skill and concentration. Their focus is on the intricate details of the procedure. While they desire a successful outcome for their patient, they cannot be paralyzed by the fear of failure or solely driven by the praise they might receive. Their dedication to the action itself is paramount. Or think of a student preparing for an exam. Their duty is to study diligently, understand the material, and prepare thoroughly. While they naturally desire a good grade, their focus should be on the process of learning. If they become consumed by the fear of failing or the pressure of achieving a perfect score, their ability to concentrate and perform might diminish. From a deeper spiritual perspective, this verse reminds us that we are instruments of a higher power. Our actions are our offering, and the results are ultimately in the hands of the divine, or governed by the intricate laws of karma. By aligning our will with this understanding, we transcend the limitations of the ego and participate in the cosmic dance with grace. It's about performing our dharma, our righteous duty, with devotion and integrity, understanding that true fulfillment comes not from the external reward, but from the purity of our intention and the dedication to our action. In our fast-paced world, where outcome orientation can lead to stress, burnout, and dissatisfaction, Bhagavad Gita 2.47 offers a liberating path. It encourages us to find joy and purpose in the doing, in the honest effort, in the contribution itself. It teaches us to act with diligence, integrity, and a spirit of surrender, knowing that the true reward lies in the act of selfless service. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Let this profound wisdom guide your steps. May your actions be an offering, your efforts sincere, and your heart free from the shackles of attachment. Embrace the power of detached action, and experience the profound peace and true fulfillment that flow from a life lived with purpose and surrender. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. May your journey be filled with wisdom and peace.